Society. It hangs in the balance of personal freedom and social responsibility. Crimes like violence, theft, arson, even murder threaten to disrupt that balance. The prison system in America, while it has recently made some improvements, has a long way to go. The way that we treat inmates during their prison sentence has a big impact on how they act when they get out of prison. These are not unruly children, these are adults. They need more than just a time out from society. They need help from us. So after I did some research on the American prison system, I learned that what we're doing is not working. Inmates are not learning not to commit their crimes. They're leaving the prison system, returning again, and there's no lesson learned in that time served. So first I'm going to tell you about the good things the prison system is doing. Then I'll tell you about how we can make the prison system better and work better. And then finally, I'll tell you about why you should care about this. And so first, let's start with how the prison system is helping our society, what they've gotten right. Prison removes people who are harmful to our society. And this is important because things like murder and battery and arson, they hurt other people, and so we don't want those people around where they can hurt us again. It just makes sense that you would remove them from society. The second thing that they do is they offer education to inmates. There's a GED program, and it helps you to get jobs. You have to have a GED for most jobs that will pay a living wage. Also, there is the rehabilitation programs that our prisons are offering. Now, this is the best thing they're doing. They have some there where they work with dogs. There's champs, and there's puppies for parolees. And this is great for the inmates because what it helps them do is learn. They're training this dog. They're learning patience. They're picking up responsibility. And that helps them learn valuable life skills for when they get out of prison. Also, dogs have been proven to be very therapeutic. There are therapy dogs everywhere now because just for our emotional well-being, our anxieties, things like that, they help a lot with. So these are good things about the prison system, but this is not enough. The prison system is doing a disservice not only to the inmates who are in it, but also to the society that they release those inmates back into. So the education and rehabilitation that I just told you about, those are not requirements. In fact, that's not the case in the majority of prisons. A lot of prisons have terrible, terrible living situations. And the second thing is criminal nature is not something that we're born with. Our surroundings, our upbringing, our financial status all have a big part in determining whether or not we will commit a crime. So we need things like therapy and education, rehabilitation to turn an inmate into a productive member of society. All punishment does is teach somebody not to get caught a second time. And with the prison overcrowding, living conditions are inhumane. In the article Downsizing Prisons, written by Peter Cattell for CQ Researcher in 2011, he stated that even Texas, known for tough crime and sentencing laws, expanded prison alternatives in an effort to lower inmate population. This is happening because they have to. They don't have any room for people anymore. And in the same article, he wrote that California prison had 147,000 inmates in a prison that was built for 84,000 people in 2010. In the article Prison Reform, written by Peter Cattell for CQ Researcher in 2007, he found that the number of jail and prison inmates had quadrupled since 1980. And more than half of all incarcerated inmates are imprisoned for nonviolent crimes. The 5-year recidivism rates for state and federal prisons is insane. Recidivism is when an inmate leaves prison and goes right back in. For state prisons, the rate is 76.7%, and for federal prisons, it is 44.7%. This is crazy. So a lot of people would ask, why should they get special treatment? They committed a crime. Everyone gets a hard life. Everyone, isn't rich. So why do they get special treatment? And the reason that you should care, the reason that they should get this, is because these inmates, these criminals, are going to go into prison, and they're going to leave prison, and when they get out, these people are going to be your neighbors. This is why rehabilitation is so much more important than therapy. So what can we do? Well, first I told you about what the prison system is getting right. Then I told you about how it can improve. And finally I told you about why it should matter to you. You can be a part of prison reform by putting your vote to elect politicians who realize how important of an issue this is. Pay close attention to the media whenever the politics and politicians are talking about this stuff, because this affects all of us. Thank you.